certain shows.
Right, except on certain shows. But if it were a realistic scenario and the Dead came back, I mean, give it time. They're not going to make it.
You said it so right. Hey, anyway, we're going to go on break for like 2.5 minutes, Nick. You might want to go get yourself a cup of Java. We'll be back with Nick Centers on Night Dreams Talk Radio right after all this.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
When reading all those faith-based books, all claim to get it right. In volumes of religious texts which have their own agenda, there lies a silver thread of truth mixed in with propaganda. Be careful what you say to those with whom you'll be at odds, who've taken on the dogma in the pantheon of gods.
Doesn't matter if you're Christian or if Islam or Hindu. Your horizons need to open to a universal view. The dynamics of change in an endless cosmic sea all need to be a part of your mind's reality. There's been more than one intrusion when you finally check the odds of rules and competition and the pantheon of gods.
Aztec gods, Celtic gods, gods of ancient Sumer. All of them existed, and it's not just myth or rumor. Greek gods, Hindu gods, all gods in relief. Weave a magic tapestry of spiritual belief. All of them have been here, part of spiritual decorum. And all of them are aspects of a complex cosmic forum.
Doesn't matter if you're Christian or if Islam or Hindu. Your horizons need to open to a universal view.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
Coming to you from some far point station, like a cosmic tumbleweed, both north and south of the Pleiades. Here's your host, Gary Anderson.
That is me. Tonight we're going to only be on for another half an hour on Night Dreams Talk Radio. I'm sorry, but I have to, end the show tonight a little bit early to take care of some things. Hey, Nick, are you still there?
Absolutely, I'm still here.
What is going on nowadays at Scarefests and all these type of conventions and gatherings?
We just finished Scarefest 2019. Actually, wonderful show. Tons of good vendors. A lot of really cool celebrities were there. Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead series. Lee Majors. We had quite a few good ones. We had Dee Snider there from Twisted Sister and Strangeland. We had Art the Clown, of course. David Howard Thornton from Terrifier was there. Fantastic guy. We had quite a few. We had Alex Vincent, the guy that played Andy in Child's Play. Christina Elise from Child's Play 2. And of course, we had Kane Hodder and R.A. Mihaloff there, and that's Jason Voorhees and Leatherface, Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp. We had a ton of good guests this year. Really good show.
How was the turnout with the fans?
The turnout with the fans actually wasn't bad. We had quite a few people show up. Enjoyed every minute of it. We had a lot of people show up in costume. It was pretty fantastic.
Now,
So the turnout was really good.
have you run across any of the fans that kind of role play a lot of being some of these, creatures and murderers and monsters and all that stuff?
A lot of them. There's a few of them we ran across like that. And they actually run haunts every year in Lexington. Wicked World Scare Grounds. I'll go ahead and give them a shout out. They're actually open right now at night. They're pretty fantastic, and their costumes are great. The people that do their masks, makeup, things like that, absolutely go out of their way to do a great job with it. And they actually look the part, and they can definitely play the part really well.
Oh, wow. And in other words, if you go there, you can get scared.
Absolutely, it's basically a traditional haunted house with an updated kind of theme. They've done really well with it.
Interesting. And you mentioned Lee Majors. Has he ever played in any of these scary, type movies? I just remember, like Lee Majors, the Fall Guy, and stuff like that.
He played Ash's father in Ash versus Evil Dead, so he was actually, played the Bruce Campbell character's father.
Interesting. What's he look like now? He must be getting up in age.
He is a little bit older, but very much still the $6 Million Man.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, and is he, I heard that he's really friendly with fans and stuff like that, was he?
Absolutely a cool guy to talk to.
Now, have you run across any of these actors and stuff that go to these and they're not really sociable with their fans? Have you ever run across that?
There's been a couple, but I'm not really going to name drop on that because I don't feel that would be right to do. But it may just be that they were having a bad day, something like that. But yeah, there's always going to be a couple in there, I think. But they're few and far between when it happens.
Now, they do the Scarefest in your area, once a year?
They do it once a year, yeah. They usually do it in September. Now, this next coming year, they've actually changed the date. It actually coincides with them finishing the construction on Lexington Center. And instead of the September dates, we're looking at October 23rd through the 25th in 2020. Scarefest 13 will be in October.
That sounds a lot better because, everybody gets in the mood for Halloween, and it gets in the mood, because all the scary, movies they show on, the cable channels just before Halloween.
Right. And I feel like that'll just add to the Halloween flavor in the area.
So what do you think of the future of horror movies? What do you think it's going to be like?
The future of horror film, I feel like once Hollywood can get past this remake stage and start coming up with some more original ideas, it's going to be good. Right now, remakes are going strong. I mean, they've remade Pet Sematary, Child's Play, Stephen King's It. And they've remade several things in the past few years, and I feel like Hollywood might be running out of ideas at times, but then there's movies that come along like the sequel to The Strangers or The Purge or things like that have original ideas, and I think the future of horror is going to be okay.
I hope so, because I was just reading they're going to start on another Resident Evil.
Yeah, and I had read that too, and I think what they're going to try with this one is actually to bring it back closer to the video game. as opposed to being in a movie that really doesn't have a whole lot to do except a loose affiliation with the games.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you the last one was scary, and it kind of like drug you into the whole thing. And then, the movie, was it Tank Girl or whatever it was called?
Tank Girl, I do remember. Tank Girl was pretty good.
They're going to come out with a sequel to it.
Yep, it's going to be, it's not really going to be a sequel. It's going to be a remake.
A remake. And it's supposed to be with the original star.
No, the last I heard anything about a sequel to Tank Girl or a remake, it was going to be Margot Robbie, the lady that played Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad.
Interesting, because I was just reading it here the other day in the news that they were going to make Tank Girl with the original star. So maybe something's changed or whatever. I don't know how old she would be now anyway. When was Tank Girl made originally? Wasn't it like about 15 years ago?
Yeah, it was somewhere in the 90s. I seem to remember that when I was pretty young. Lori Petty played Tank Girl. She was actually at Scarefest this past little while.
What's she look like nowadays?
She's a little bit older. She's still pretty much the same Lori Petty. I mean, she's definitely still got the whole punk 90s vibe. She's still pretty cool.
Yeah, that's I think that's what pulled the show off. That and sucking the water out of human beings.
Right.
So I look forward to that. But it's just not horror movies. It's stuck in the remake. It's almost everything you turn on TV, and it's a reboot of an original series. And a reboot again and again and again. It gets to the point. Yeah, the older people will enjoy it for a little while because it brings back memories. But then afterwards, you get bored of it. Everybody thought like Roseanne when she got herself fired. But people didn't cry out much. It was not a big deal.
No, and then the show just kept right on going. I mean, that show lasted another season without her, I think.
Yeah. And so, I mean, a lot of these reboots, I don't know, maybe it's because they actually have ran out of ideas. And it's, at least it's better than going back to cowboy movies or detective movies or police,
Right.
TV shows and stuff, which it could very well happen any day now.
Well, see, my plea with Hollywood is this. Stop doing remakes. The Dream Factory still has dreams left, surely to goodness. I mean, start dreaming again. Use original ideas. Hollywood used to be the Dream Factory. Start dreaming again.
Well, Sylvester Stallone, his newest movie, there was critics. It came out and said, oh, it was really good. Then all of a sudden it got slammed because it was so much violence. But, from every trailer I seen of it, it looks really good, and yeah.
Right.
All the blood and gore, all the the dying in it, and the it just seems like it brings back more than anything he's ever done.
Right, and it's the deal with that is it is a Rambo movie. I mean, and that's what you would expect from a Rambo film.
Yeah, he actually said he would never do another one after this, but then he a couple of weeks ago said, well, if it goes over good, I got one more in me. Everybody's got one more in,
Everybody has one more left in them when the movie they just do does well. It's like I would like to believe that Schwarzenegger has another Terminator left in him.
Well, I was surprised that he did another one because he said he would never do one again, and then all of a sudden he did it.
He's got one that's actually getting ready to come out, and it's another Terminator sequel. And he said if this one does good, he may have another one left in him, and I'm okay with that.
Well, to watch a Terminator, movie without him in it, it wouldn't be the same thing.
Right, but pretty soon that's going to end up happening because somewhere down the line somebody's going to end up remaking it.
Yeah, and you can't see him when he's like 90 years old playing the part.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
It comes to a point, when you know, younger people, I hear it from